100% sure we just blew a head gasket.
It's an expensive break. There's a lot of damage. Pretty sure they can fix it, but might not today.
Watkins Glen is one of the most recognized road courses in the country. For GRIDLIFE, coming to the Glen means bringing its own culture into one of American road racing's most important venues. Before there was a permanent circuit, racing ran through the village itself. In 1948, sports cars took to the streets of Watkins Glen and the roads above Seneca Lake. That beginning still shapes the way this place feels today.
Morning. So we're here at Watkins Glen, which is one of my favorite tracks in the US. I've done only one race, one weekend in the past, but I loved it. It's very slow, super high speed. I just really like this high speed type of track. And you know, I'm super excited driving this Subimods GD on this track. See what we can do.
There is currently no connection between the engine and the transmission right now. We're gonna pull the trans, and more than likely there's gonna be hunks of clutches.
I'm not gonna tell Dewey yet, but it's like, I said that, I was like, man, we don't have to pull those out a lot. And that's, every time you say something, it's Carla, dude, she comes around.
Probably one of the coolest tracks on the grid, demanding on everything, car, driver, equipment.
One of the most dangerous tracks on the circuit, and I've driven time attack 4 times now.
The last session seemed like it was going to be promising. When we were going out, I was testing the power steering. The first 2 laps I had it, which was really exciting. First turn, no power steering. This is not the track. You don't want to have power steering and randomly do intermittently. So I backed off, brought the car back in, completely overheated the car. My strategy right now is, it might not be the most competitive time because I've never been here, but we're going to do 2 laps at a time, see how the car does.
So it was just out of gas. So, I mean, it's a time attack. So we want to have minimum gas as possible, which they did a great job. A little overkill. If I could have maybe another gallon or less, could have done a pretty good lap. But you know, we got 2 more days, so no rush. That's the beauty of this sport.
The Gen 2 drift car, Nick hit a tire wall with it. We're having some e-brake issues we gotta fix. So yeah, so far so good. Dewey came in and just said that the car felt like there was nothing in between the transmission and the engine. Trans sound fine, engine sound fine. We thought it was the clutch. So he's on his way to go get a clutch. I pulled the trans out, and immediately as soon as we get the trans out, we found the input shaft. We got to take the sequential out, go back to IEG, grab our old 6-speed to roast some gears. We're gonna throw that in tonight, get it all prepped and switched over to what we need to use. It's an expensive break.
Odie sent a couple new things, some stiffer springs. He revalved them, did some different things to try and get this car a little bit more stable. Here, it actually worked perfectly. That run was awesome. The tires felt great. It's all just me. It's all just driver mod, and that's what we're gonna work on.
So on Nick's car, when he came back in, we noticed at the shop first, the tie rod boots were getting melted by the brakes, because the brakes that we have on here don't allow us to run brake dust shields. So it's melting the boots, and the boots eventually run out of grease, and it cooks the tie rod. So we put some new outer tie rods on it. We left them right where the alignment was. We're gonna get it back on the ground, put some toe plates on it, make sure it's still straight, and send it back out there for the next session.
Right now I'm pulling data logs, review some oil pressure, make sure it's not dropping oil pressure on this track.
The car's coming around a corner with LAG and a half. The oil is getting sent to one side of the engine. So the AccuSump is what feeds pressure into the system when it sees it drop, but it's overfilling the crankcase and it's pouring out into the dump tank.
While the EFI Performance team keeps working through the cars for the next morning, a few steps away, the Subimods corral tells a different part of the same story. Rows of Subarus, filled in by owners who made the trip to Watkins Glen, all to get close to the action and join the Subimods team as they navigate the competition this weekend. Away from the booth, and away from the cars for a little while, everyone gets a chance to reset before another early morning at Summer Apex.
Beautiful Saturday morning here at Watkins Glen. I'm gonna try to go out and do a little bit better. They've really been hammering me on, line, driving etiquette, things like that. And we're gonna try to piece all that together. Hopefully it goes well.
So we got our old H-Pattern in last night. It was a long night, but we got everything in. Car feels good on the jack stands, everything, drove around the pit. So if everything's eaten, everything's good, we're gonna shoot for just a to B lap. We want to make sure we can get a lap in. It's been a long weekend.
I'm real hyped that I'm right behind Dai. I think that's going to be fun. Maybe we can get some really good footage, see what happens. I mean, the dude's a legend, so it's sick to be able to actually compete directly against him like this.
It's a beautiful day. Car's feeling great. I think I gotta get a really good time right away.
So it looks like Dai has broken a ball joint. So ball joint on the left side, stud just snapped right off the ball joint. Control arm came loose, tire came up into the fenders. Looks like we might have potentially a inner tie rod that is bent. A little bit more damage than we originally saw. Looks like wiring harness also got some tire rubbing damage, so we had to repair some wires there. Don't think we're probably going to send this car out again today. We're just going to pick on it a little bit here and there as we can.
We went out and tried our best out there, but unfortunately we're 90% sure we just blew a head gasket. So we got 1.5 laps. We gave it everything we had, and so now we're gonna have a pretty show car. Because broken race cars make really great show cars.
We are now in what is called triage mode. Every car has an issue. My car's pretty much about 2 laps away from oblivion on the brake pads. Just wanna go home.
Currently in first place. Like I said, everybody seems to think I forgot how to drive stick. Obviously I didn't. I'm not gonna lie, I am a little rusty driving stick. Try to put it together and sew this championship up.
Dewey comes into Summer Apex with a chance to end the championship fight early. After a season built on wins, the math is simple. If Dewey takes this event, nobody else in the field can catch him. With EFI Performance working through what they can save for tomorrow's Podium Sprint, drift ride-alongs start filling the gap, putting people in the passenger seat for a sign of the weekend most only get to watch from behind the fence.
First time I've ever driven in a drift car, and it was awesome, man. I'm so glad I came to GRIDLIFE.
So we've been seeing the EFI team work really hard on Dai's car. They're killing it. However, they reached into Nick's car, starting to look to see how it's doing. They're having front brake problems. I am going to donate my brakes to Nick so he can see how amazing they are. Nick is currently sitting in 5th place, so he's looking to be able to defend that tomorrow afternoon, and we're hoping to help him get there.
Okay, so outer tie rods. Yesterday we ended up changing them out. They were a little bit loose from the heat. Had melted some of the plastic inside of them, got them loose. We replaced them with cob units, but the brakes got really hot on this car and melted those. So we now have some more tie rods that are loose. Click, 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 click. So we are going to replace them with the G-Tech spherical bushings. That way the heat doesn't affect them as much. We got inner tie rods, we got new ball joints, we got both ball joints. We're going to know how to replace the other side just to be on the safe side. We got a used but good inner tie rod to put on and a new brake. So we're going to get that put in, and then we also got a ABS. We're going to get all this put in and hopefully get Dai back out tomorrow. Alright, so just took a test drive in Dai's car after putting all the parts on it last night, getting everything buttoned up. Everything looked really good, sounded really good, felt really good, so we're going to tow it up and then he can go back out.
The car's finally ready, thanks to all the guys in the team. So I gotta make sure the car's running good because we are pretty much secure to be on the Podium Sprint. But at the same time, I wanna get the fastest time because I never had a chance to put everything down last couple of days, whether my driving mistake or the mechanical issue. So yeah, I just have a one lap. It's gonna be a good task, but we'll do it.
Dai went back out for the first session this morning after we got everything back together, and it turns out we missed an ABS sensor. It didn't get plugged back in, so he started on his hot lap, got to the first real heavy brake zone, and the car locked up the brakes. So flat spotted one of the tires really bad, so he just kind of shut it down and parked it for the rest of the session until he could limp it back in for that flat spot. Got the ABS sensor hooked back up now, so we should be good to go.
We're about to hit Podium Sprint. This weekend has been pretty tough on us. I didn't really have any good lap yet. Unfortunately, I have to leave right after Podium Sprint because I'm going to see my family in Japan. To make my flight, I have to leave right away. So if everything goes well in this Podium Sprint, That's all matters.
Hey, this was a roller coaster of a weekend. Broken trans, engine making weird noises. The track went from great to crap, and people are crashing into things. It was nuts. So, but we tied it up. So that's 3 championships.
We got on the podium, yes. I mean, you know, any podium feels great. Especially, you know, we had a real struggle this weekend. I think this was the toughest weekend so far in the GRIDLIFE this season. But you know, our team, Subimods and EFI Performance, they worked so hard and you know, keep fixing the car and yeah, ended up podium. So can't be happier.